You're about to meet a Naperville couple who say they've been blessed with a full life and they want to share their blessings with children through adoption. But their road to parenthood came to a dead end that cost them thousands of dollars and a piece of their heart. CBS 2's Marie Saavedra has their cautionary tale.
In a Naperville neighborhood known for its schools, parks, and places for families, you'll find this house at the end of a cul-de-sac. And inside, we find the loving couple who've worked hard to make this house a warm and welcoming home.
I have a very busy schedule today.
You're going to the post office?
Where Phil Strauss will gladly offer you a cup of coffee.
Double espresso?
As the sounds of Anka Plaviciosu Strauss at the piano float through every room. What more could anyone want in a place to rest your head?
Seems like a big house for just two people.
Turns out the Strauss do want more.
Since we don't have natural children, that we could and should share all these blessings that we received with somebody that wasn't quite that lucky.
They decided to adopt to give themselves and a child the experiences they long for.
It'd be nice to teach kids how to ride a bike, expose them to new things. It sounds like there would be so many joys in raising a child.
The couple started their journey in earnest in 2019. Anka is from Romania, so they targeted that country since she could ease the language barrier. That led them to work with two agencies, Alliance for Children, Inc., out of Massachusetts, accredited to work with Romania, and a local branch of America World Adoption Association to do the home studies required to adopt.
I guess initial expectation that within a year that we would be having children at home.
Now, 4 years later, the Strauss are sharing how wrong they were. Not to discourage adoption, but to share the realities of what can be a painful and pricey process.
So we had these two agencies, and that in itself was a problem. They didn't seem to communicate well with each other.
Or with the couple, according to them. They outlined for us years of what they saw as unnecessary delays while burning through money. The Strauss say they were diligent about quickly paying for and filing medical forms, background checks, proof of identification, and more to the agencies when requested.
All the time we needed to provide a document, we did it right away.
But when it came to the couple's home study, they allege America World Adoption dragged its feet and didn't listen. When it was done and formally filed with Homeland Security, they say it was inaccurate. You can see where the couple noted what was wrong. They were not willing to be adoptive parents to a special needs or handicapped child due to their age. But there it is in black and white. It also referenced the needs of their other children who don't exist. There were delays with Alliance for Children, too, some COVID-related. But the Strauss' biggest concern came when the company pitched a change in country.
Alliance for Children came with this proposal. Hey, we've done an adoption with Hungary, and they just let me know that they have two girls.
They said yes, and quickly learned the change would cost more money. In emails with Alliance for Children, the Strauss were under the impression this adoption would cost $11,450.
Recently, trying to make payments on this additional money and these receipts that weren't making sense, and then finding out, oh no, it's even more money than we thought it was.
In an email from the accounting department, they learned the bill was actually $22,000. The couple doesn't think this was intentional deception, but the lack of a clear billing breakdown after so much time and money was too much. In October, they said enough, ending their dreams of the girls from Hungary and their working relationship with both agencies. Their bank accounts are still hurting.
Well over 10,000, probably close to 20,000.
Even after some small partial refunds from the agencies. They feel the rights they have as clients were not respected.
The list of rights is that you have the right to professional quality service.
And do you feel like you got professional quality service in this process?
No, absolutely not.
Now 4 years older, with less money, what's behind their frustration is pain.
Do you still have hope that someday you'll be teaching somebody how to ride a bike?
They knew this process would not be easy. Signs of what still hasn't happened are everywhere, like this empty room they hoped to fill.
This is a constant reminder that actually our dream of adopting children didn't come to fruition.
All they want is for someone to make it their own, inside this house, at the end of the cul-de-sac, in a great neighborhood, a place any child would be lucky to call home. International adoption is a process where delays are common and caused by any number of the people and bureaucracies involved. Still, we contacted both America World Adoption and Alliance for Children, but due to client privacy rules, neither would speak to us on or off the record about the Straughns' specific experience. Marie Saavedra, CBS 2 News.